So you're thinking of moving to Spain. You can already see it, can't you? Sitting out in a sun-drenched cafe, enjoying some tapas and a cerveza, and then going home to take a nice siesta. But there's the key. Finding the right home in Spain might be one of the biggest issues you encounter when moving here. And in this video, I'm going to give you the best tips that nobody tells expats when looking to buy or rent in Spain. Listos? Vamonos! Now, we moved to Spain just under 2 years ago, and in the build-up to our actual move date, one of the most important things that I really focused on prior to our move was finding the right place to live, which was no easy feat. To be quite honest with you, we had never even been to Spain. Yeah, I know, crazy, right? But we had done a lot of research. I mean, I spent all of my free time doing online research. Now, I spent most of my time on one particular website. It's Idealista. It's Spain's most popular real estate site. And so in that time I spent doing my research on Idealista to find the right spot, I settled on finding a short-term rental, just a landing spot for us to be able to land in Valencia, adjust to the time here, and then see what we liked and what we didn't like about the particular neighborhood and the piso where we were going to be arriving. Now, I did break a cardinal rule. I did send some money, but what I did was I did quite a bit of research. I looked up the real estate company that was managing the property. I even had the attorney who was helping us with our relocation paperwork just take a quick look, and he said, yes, it's a sound business. They're a big real estate company in Valencia. So I did put a security deposit down for this short-term rental, and that way, when we arrived in Valencia, we had a place to get to. I rented it for a month in a very family-centric neighborhood named La Pechina. So once I had taken care of making sure that we had a landing spot for when we arrived in Valencia, we packed up our 5 bags, 2 girls, my 1 wife, and we hopped on the plane. We enjoyed a champagne clink, and we were ready for this next adventure of our life. Once we landed in Valencia, the short-term rental was just fine. It was a decent-sized piso, a decent-sized apartment with a little courtyard in this Pechina neighborhood. Once we had gotten over the jet lag, we just walked all over the city. We really wanted to get to know the city, get to know the neighborhoods. We had already figured out that this wasn't the place we wanted to stay in long term. And so it was time to go on the hunt again. I started just scouring properties all over Valencia, and doing that research online, you also get to know what the prices are in each neighborhood. And I realized that what we were paying in La Pechina was just too high. But then, once I started searching for a long-term rental in Valencia is when the problem started. And the first problem was a lot of real estate agents and real estate companies just do not answer back. I would reach out to several real estate companies and real estate agents. And that month, in the month of July, I must have sent out 25 to 30 messages to visit different properties. And about 7 real estate companies or agents responded. So that's less than a 30% success rate for whatever reason. I mean, there might be so many people looking for apartments. Maybe they're just busy all the time. And I believe it because Valencia is a very popular landing spot. It was when we came in 2024, and I think it's even more popular now in 2026. And so that was one thing. Real estate agents weren't very good at reaching back out to us. Some would just ghost us straight out. And the second problem I encountered was, by law, the Ley de Vivienda, which was passed in 2023, stated that the real estate companies charge the owner of the property real estate fees, not the renter. Now that is not being implemented and much less enforced, because every property that I saw where we dealt with a real estate company, they would let us know, oh, if you want this apartment and you like it, well, these are the prerequisites to get in. You pay a security deposit, 1 month if it's unfurnished, 2 months if it's a furnished apartment. You pay what they call a complimentary guarantee, which is just another month's rent in case of damages. They were also charging a 1-month fee plus the 21% tax, the EVA tax, to me for the real estate fee. And then you pay the current month's rent to move into the apartment. So you're paying up to 4 months rent just to get into an apartment. That's how they were presenting it to me. Of course, in my research, I had found out that that was illegal. Real estate companies can't do that and shouldn't be doing that. And when I called one of the real estate agents out on it, I asked them like, hey, isn't this something that you guys shouldn't be charging the renter? And they were pretty blunt and said, you know, you don't have to rent this apartment. We can rent it to someone else. I mean, that was the answer. There's so much competition, there's so much demand for properties in Valencia that people are willing to pay it. And real estate companies know that, and so they take advantage of it. Now, don't feel compelled to go through a real estate company. On Idealista, when you're looking at properties, if you click on a property, and after you've viewed all the pictures and you read the little description, if you scroll all the way down on the page, it'll let you know there'll be a link there for the real estate company, or it'll have a person's name that you can contact. If it just has a name and it doesn't have a real estate company logo, that means it's usually an owner direct deal. It's the owner that you'll be communicating with as far as getting the apartment that you want rented. Usually when dealing with an owner directly, they still will ask for a security deposit. 1 month if unfurnished, 2 months if it's a furnished apartment. You will bypass the 1 month fee for the real estate company because you're dealing directly with an owner. And the third thing that you'll encounter is that there is such a high competition for pisos in Valencia that properties go extremely quickly. And they also use scare tactics. They'll tell me over the phone like, hey, I know you booked an appointment for Friday to come look at this property, but we have 3 listings today, or we have 3 bookings today. There's 3 couples coming to see it. I mean, it might not be here when you get here. So they do use scare tactics like that. They do use FOMO, right? Fear of missing out. And it really scares you because you want to secure the right spot. I mean, what's more important than finding the right home? There's very few things more important than that. But please don't fall for it. You might end up locked into a long-term contract that you might not like, or in a place you might not like, in a neighborhood that you don't enjoy, or a piso that you didn't know had a certain thing about it that you hate. The good news is, even if you've signed a 12-month contract here in Spain, after 6 months, you can break the contract. It's also part of the law, the Ley of Vivienda. Meaning you do have to give a 30-day written notice, but you should be able to get your security deposit back. That is one of the stipulations in the law that is very pro-tenant, which is great. I think that's a really good thing, because if you do end up locking in a long-term rental that you're not happy with, you do want a way to get out. And if you start to do your research as far as the rental prices or the real estate prices in Valencia, you're going to find a lot of elevated prices. People are being priced out of their homes here. There is a lack of affordable housing because so many people coming from outside of the country with higher salaries that can pay more for these pisos. You can see where the problem is going to arise very quickly. And even in the 2 years that we've been here, prices have gone up quite a bit. If I'm not mistaken, I think prices in the last years have gone up, 8 to 12% in the time that we've been here. And so in our time here, we have already rented 3 properties, going on a 4th. These are the best tips that I can give you. 1, if you can avoid paying something before you even see the property, avoid it at all costs. 2, ask the real estate companies about the fee, because they really shouldn't be charging you. I don't know of anyone that has gone to court overpaying this real estate fee to the real estate agents, which they are illegally charging. And I really don't think it's worth the time, the effort, and probably even the legal costs, but I would at least ask. 3, if you commit to an owner direct deal, pay via bank transfer. You really want to try and avoid paying in cash, just because you don't want to put yourself in any legal limbo in this new country that you're in, trying to enjoy life here. Number 4, don't be afraid to make a counteroffer. If you go visit a rental property and they're charging 2,000 euro, and you look at it and you've done enough research to realize, hey, maybe I'm being overcharged here, just ask, hey, is this the final offer? Is this the lowest price that I can pay? Because it doesn't hurt to make a counteroffer. If you just show up and you're willing to pay anything, they're definitely going to take advantage of you. And then that just ruins it for everybody. It ruins it for the people that are already living here because they're getting priced out of the neighborhood, and you're just going to be spending a lot more money for something that you probably could have gotten cheaper. Don't be afraid to make counter offers. It doesn't hurt to ask. And there are so many properties. Don't be fearful that the property that you fall in love with is going to go to someone else. That's happened to us already multiple times. There's been a couple of properties that were like, that's the one, that's the one. And then when we show up for the viewing or when we call to confirm the appointment, it's already rented. There are thousands of properties here in Valencia. You will find what is good for you. Don't fall into the scare tactics. Don't fall for the FOMO. Be discreet, be diligent, and you'll be able to find the right spot that you really love. Now, of course, if you have any questions, please leave them down in the comment section. And if you have any horror stories about renting or even buying real estate here in Spain, please also share it in the comment section down below. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys soon. Hasta luego.